And a warm welcome to you all. This is Hank Paul, your portrait podcaster. On today's show we're going to be providing wealth that Cuban exiles have created in South Florida. Can we quantify how much Cuban exiles have contributed to making Miami the global city that it is today? Yes, estimating the economic value created by Cuban exiles is possible, but not with exact precision. Instead, scholars, economists, and think tanks use indirect metrics to quantify their impact, especially in South Florida and throughout the U.S. economy. Here's how it breaks down. Methods of estimating value created by Cuban exiles. Regional GDP impact, Miami-Dade County. Miami-Dade GDP in 1960, $3.5 billion. Miami-Dade GDP in 2025, $240 billion. Scholars credit the Cuban exile influx as a primary catalyst for the city's transformation into an international financial and trade hub. Conservative estimates suggest that over $1 trillion in cumulative economic output in South Florida since 1960 is directly or indirectly linked to the Cuban diaspora's labor, businesses, and capital. Business and entrepreneurship. By 1980, Cuban exiles owned over 60% of all Hispanic-owned businesses in Florida. Iconic examples. Bacardi USA, relocated to Miami, the largest privately held spirits company in the world, which owns Bacardi rum, Grey Goose vodka, Patron tequila, Dewar's blended Scotch whiskey, Bombay Sapphire gin, Martini and Rossi vermouth and sparkling wines, Aristoff vodka, Cazador's blue agave tequila, Angel's Envy bourbon among many others. Sedano's supermarkets. Fanjuls Sugar Empire, owners of Florida Crystals, American Sugar Refining Incorporated, ASR Group, which includes brands such as Domino Sugar, CNH Sugar, and Redpath Sugar. ASR Group is the world's largest cane sugar refiner and marketer. MBF Healthcare, MasTec, Cisneros, and dozens of real estate developers. These businesses alone are responsible for tens of billions of dollars in employment, tax revenue, and supply chain impact. Real estate and finance. Brickell Avenue, now known as the Wall Street of the South, was developed in part by Cuban real estate and financial networks. Many wealthy Latin American families funneled money into Miami through Cuban-controlled banks, Republic National Bank, BAC Florida, Ocean Bank. Cuban-American developers built large swaths of South Florida suburbs like Hialeah, Westchester, Coral Gables, and Kendall. The real estate value linked to Cuban-led development is estimated to be in the hundreds of billions cumulatively. Political and institutional power. Cuban exiles helped create bilingual education programs. U.S. immigration policy reforms, Cuban Adjustment Act. International policy shifts in Latin America and the Cold War. These institutional shifts generated intangible but profound economic and diplomatic advantages for South Florida and the U.S. National and international influence. Cuban Americans have risen to high positions in U.S. business and government. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Cuban stepfather influence. Before Amazon there was Bezos warehouses in Havana, Cuba. Bob Menendez, Marco Rubio, Ileana Ros-Lehtinen in political power shaping U.S. foreign and economic policy. Gloria Estefan, Pitbull, and others, creating a Cuban cultural export economy. Estimated value of Cuban exile contributions. Regional GDP uplift, Miami, $1 trillion plus. Entrepreneurship and business $300 to $500 billion. Real estate finance capital $200 to $400 billion. Cultural and political power intangible, but national impact. U.S. Latin America economic integration trillions in trade enabled. Brain bottom line. While there's no exact dollar amount, Cuban exiles can be credibly credited with creating well over $1.50 to $2 trillion in cumulative economic value through migration-fueled growth, entrepreneurial networks, financial integration, and geopolitical influence, particularly in South Florida, but also across the United States. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.